So imagine you just watched a Marvel movie and want to start getting into Marvel Comics. And if you're just getting started, you might notice that a lot of the faces on the page don't look like the faces on the screen so much. Marvel's recently had this trend of temporarily replacing their mainstream superheroes with newer characters.
And it makes sense. You know, when these characters first came out, it was a time when America was overwhelmingly white. And today, it's not. So, there we go.
So let's go through a few of them. Ultimate Spider-Man was replaced by Miles Morales, who was arguably the original replacement hero in this current wave, and has been so successful he actually survived the destruction of the Ultimate Universe and is still kicking around today. Captain America was replaced by Sam Wilson, the Falcon. His comic has been semi-controversial because it believes that a character called Captain America should have political opinions. Thor is currently a woman, though Thor Odin's son is still kicking around. She just carries the title of Thor. The Hulk was replaced by two people, the first being a longtime character She-Hulk, who has taken the main Hulk title, and a younger Asian character named Amadeus Cho, who's like this genius bro version of the character. And the second, this is going to take too long, so let's go lightning round. Kate Bishop as Hawkeye, X-23 as Wolverine, Riri Williams and Dr. Freaking Doom as Iron Man, Sam Alexander as Nova, Kitty Pryde as Star-Lord, Real Jerk as Captain Marvel. Anyways, this has all been in the news lately, thanks to Marvel VP of Sales David Gabriel, who recently made headlines with a pretty controversial statement in regards to Marvel's slumping sales. What we heard was that people didn't want any more diversity. They didn't want female characters out there. That's what we heard, whether we believe it or not. I don't know that that's really true, but that's what we saw in the sales. So first of all, Gabriel has since walked back these comments. Second of all, I don't think it's totally true. There are a lot of reasons Marvel sales could be slumping, and I don't believe offering more diverse characters is the main one, or even one of them at all. I'll put a link to an article examining Marvel sales numbers in the description. Turns out, a lot of the white male-led Marvel comics are suffering too. But this whole kerfuffle has created some debates and arguments about the value of a lot of these new heroes in the place of diversity in comics, so I want to talk a bit about this and how it relates to my favorite of these replacement heroes, Miss Marvel. So Miss Marvel is Kamala Khan, a Pakistani-American living in Jersey City who is replacing the aforementioned Carol Danvers when she decided to hang up her one-piece swimming suit and take up the mantle of the long-dead Captain Marvel, making her a replacement hero in her own right. So Kamala Khan is unique because she's not even trying to be like the original Miss Marvel. In fact, the comic made a point of Kamala trying to be like her idol, and it kind of blew up in her face. Couple things you should know about Kamala beforehand. 1, she's a huge fan of Captain Marvel. 2, she comes from a pretty conservative Muslim family. She's struggling with living the strict standards of her religion and her parents. And so one night, she sneaks out to a party and realizes that rebelling against her standards doesn't automatically make her more accepted by her peers. Storming home, she becomes engulfed in Terrigen Mist and gets inhuman powers. Powers are pretty awkward. She's basically really malleable, like Mr. Fantastic, to the point that she can shapeshift, like Mystique. So when she sees a vision of Captain Marvel in her Terrigen-induced dreams, Kamala says, "I want to be like you." And she immediately turns into that classic Miss Marvel with the politically incorrect costume that kicks butt and giant wedge heels, and realizes that isn't going to work for her either. I don't want to give away the full story, but Kamala makes the cliche be yourself moral seem fresh, even though she's a nerdy, awkward teen who writes fanfiction, who's trying to be like her confident, popular, blonde role model. And I think it's because her religion plays a key role in her comic and actually makes her a lot more relatable. This may be surprising to some circles, but a lot of young adults struggle with what role their traditionalist faith has in today's modern world. According to the writer, G. Willow Wilson, Miss Marvel has become popular with evangelical Christians, Orthodox Jews, Latter-day Saints. To quote, "There was apparently an untapped audience of people from a wide variety of faith backgrounds who were eager for a story like this. Nobody could have predicted or planned for that. It leads to a much more authentic story. Kamala's exploits are very much based in a living Jersey City. It's where she fights for justice with today's social issues." And yes, that makes her a social justice warrior.
Feed me, internet trolls. I live on hatred.
Some of these issues have included gentrification, police profiling, climate change, and even extremism. Because so much of Kamala's success is because of her background and setting, she often suffers when she's put in other character stories. And that's what happens when a comic book character becomes popular. They become an Avenger, and then a member of the New Teens with Attitude, the Champions, and then the Inhumans, and then they get in the TV shows, the Lego games, the actual Legos. And punch. Yeah. It's not that Kamala's character is bad in these comics per se, it's just that it's missing some of the understanding that's there when Wilson's writing it. For example, Kamala would never swear or hold Captain America like that in her own title. Just saying. And let's get back to that title. So the art is usually tag teamed by Adrian Alphona and Takeshi Miyazawa. I apologize if I mispronounce those names. As someone of Japanese heritage, it's pretty embarrassing actually. And anyway, these two guys are killing it. Miyazawa has some slight anime influences that are noticeable in his work, and it works very well with the exaggerated expressions that Ms. Marvel has. They're really joyful, really fun. And Alphona's work is, holy cow, his line work is the bomb. It's so technical, yet so relaxed. He always includes some hilarious details in nearly every panel. Both artists work because Ms. Marvel is a goofy comic. She faces some weird villains, whether it's a psycho frog or a Canadian ninja syndicate or evil Thomas Edison reincarnated as a bird. I usually get a laugh when the villain is revealed. On a personal note, my wife teaches 7th grade English and lets her students read our comics, and I allow it because even though the books are returned just a little bit more beat up every year, I'm happy to know that they're inspiring a new generation of readers, writers, and artists. And the most popular book among these kids, by far, is Ms. Marvel. Can you really imagine that? A comic about a Pakistani teenager living in New Jersey. It's popular with a bunch of white Mormons living in rural Utah. It's beating out my Star Wars comics, people. And this is why I don't buy the readers don't want diversity argument. There's actually been quite a few properties recently that seem to be proving this argument false. Heck, as a guy of Japanese descent, even though I would love for better Asian representation in film and popular culture, I've never really had a problem relating to the white characters in my favorite movies that I've had growing up, and so I don't understand why it would be a problem when it's the other way around. I think I've addressed some of the reasons why Ms. Marvel has been so successful. It's her faith, her morals, killer art, hilarious stories, but I think it really boils down to one word: authenticity. And I'm sorry, I know that's a seriously overused word that I just used, but we still seem to be struggling with it and what it means to be authentic today. So I'll leave you with one last G. Willow quote. Never try to be the next whoever. Be the first and only you. People smell BS a mile away. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I originally intended to get this video out much earlier, but I had this weird life-altering event that kind of sucked all my energy out for several weeks. But hey, it's out now, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know I'm not the foremost expert, or even the 10th or 20th foremost expert on either diversity in media or comics, so these opinions are really just my opinions. I could point you to better resources if you're interested. Just let me know. On another note, I recently got a comment on the channel that said, hey, this is great content. Why don't you guys have 1,000 subscribers? First of all, that's really flattering. Second of all, if you've ever wondered, man, this is really good stuff. If only there were some way to validate that feeling, to let the content creator know that it was good and help them have more subscribers, have more viewers, and show that we like them, and even get notified next time they put a video out. There is a way. Like, comment, and subscribe to the video. It lets us know that you like what we're doing, and we'll keep making some more. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time.